Hey guys, what's up? My name's Debbie. Welcome to my channel. We are on the We are on the afternoon session of day 6 of the Brian Walshe murder trial. Brian Walshe is accused of killing his wife, Anna Walshe, on January 1st, 2023, I think. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. They started back at 2 o'clock. We started at 2:30 so we can jump through sidebars and breaks and that kind of a thing, just like always. Hey, Judy. Hey, Nancy. Thank you guys for coming back. I'm sure some more people will be filing in soon. Hello, as always, replay crew and ninja watchers. I love and appreciate all of you so much. What my phone is doing. Okay, let's get started. That is the wrong button, Deborah.
Court is back in session. You may be seated.
The Commonwealth may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth would call Gregory Deneen.
So do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in the cause now and hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Switch stuff for me. Just slide all the way.
Thank you.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Gregory Deneen, Dinneen.
Where do you work, sir?
For Ahold Delhaize USA.
What is Ahold Delhaize?
Ahold Delhaize is the parent company of Stop and Shop supermarket.
And do they have any other supermarket chains underneath their banners?
They do. They have Hannaford Supermarkets, the Giant Company, Food Lion.
And what is your role for Ahold Delhaize?
I'm an investigation specialist assigned to the New England division.
And how long have you been with them?
Approximately 25 years.
And as a result of your role there, do you have access to surveillance videos?
I do.
Now, your area, does it include, you said New England, Swampscott, Mass?
It does.
I'd like to ask some questions about the Stop and Shop in Swampscott. What does it have as far as surveillance video?
It has color cameras inside the building as well as exterior cameras.
And do they record to a server or they film or whatnot?
They record to DVR units within the store.
And do you have access to those?
I do.
Does anyone else get access to the recordings?
There are other individuals that have access there within the Asset Protection Department.
Okay. And sir, are you familiar with videos that was turned over by your company to law enforcement in January of 2023 from the Swampscott Stop and Shop?
I am.
Have you had a chance to review those before today to make sure that they haven't been altered in any way?
I have.
And in doing so, did you sign a tag to a thumb drive to confirm that those were the videos?
I did.
And sir, let me ask you this. Your videos, are they kept in normal course of business?
They are.
In good faith?
They are.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You sure can.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, do you recognize the initials on the tag on that drive?
I do. They're mine.
And on the front of it, is it for Stop and Shop Swampscott?
It is.
Is this the drive with the videos that you reviewed before coming in here today?
Yes, it is.
The Commonwealth would seek to enter the Stop and Shop videos from January 1 of 2023 in Swampscott. Is the next exhibit you're on.
Any objection?
No objection.
The Stop and Shop thumb drive from Swamp Store 1123 is now in evidence as 199. Thank you.
Your Honor, with the court's position, can the Commonwealth publish these videos?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Gilman, can we have the first video? I believe it's exterior. And if you could pause. Mr. Deneen, what are we looking at here?
This is the interior entrance vestibule of Stop and Shop in Swampscott.
And at the top, where there's a date and time, is the date and time on the Stop and Shop videos accurate?
They are accurate.
And in the bottom, there is prod entry and SS0015-01. What is that, sir?
So prod entry is referring to the side of the building. The front, there's two entrances to Stop and Shop. This is referring to the produce entry. And SS0015 is the location number. So Stop and Shop store 15 is Swampscott, Massachusetts. And the 01 is unit 1. There are multiple DVR units in this location.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Now, Ms. Gilman, can we have the second video? And Mr. Deneen, where are we looking at right now in the video?
Sure. This is the front of the store looking at self-scan register number 13.
And sir, the SS015-02, I understand that's the store code, but what does the 02 mean?
The 02 is referring to the DVR unit that it's recording on. So again, there's multiple DVR units in this location. The first one that we saw of the entryway was on 01. This one's on 02.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. If you could close out of that, please. Thank you. Sir, does Stop and Shop in Swampscott create receipts for its sales?
They do.
And are those also kept in the normal course of business
They are.
and in good faith?
They are.
And is it created at the point of time when the transaction occurs?
It is.
And did you have the opportunity to review a receipt that was produced for your company that corresponded to that transaction?
I did.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Deneen, do you recognize the object I'm handing you?
I do.
Is that the receipt that your store produced that corresponds to the transaction from the Swampscott video?
It is.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as an exhibit, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Okay.
The receipt for the transaction reflected in 199 is now in evidence as 200.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may I publish the receipt?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Gilman? So, directing your attention to Exhibit 199 on the screen, sir, what is the store is 15, so that corresponds to Stop and Shop Swampscott?
That's correct.
Okay. And what does the cashier number mean?
Cashier is listing as 880013, which is a self-scan register cashier number.
And what does POS mean, sir?
POS is the register number. And again, the number 4 refers to self-scan.
And transaction number?
Is 148.
And sir, with this, can we scroll down, Ms. Gilman? Thank you. Excellent. Sir, what is the date and time on the receipt?
The date is January 1st, 2023 at 6:56 p.m.
And what was the total cost of the purchase?
The total cost with tax is $11.56.
And was it a cash or was it a credit card?
It was a cash transaction.
I have no further questions for the witness, Your Honor.
Any cross? Witness may step down.
Thank you.
Sir. The Commonwealth may call its next witness.
The Commonwealth would call Matthew Sheehan. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in the cause now and hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Just watch yourself. A little bit more.
The 50? All right, so is it correct that the parties have pre-agreed to those exhibits? All right, so there's a group of exhibits that are going to come in, jurors, through this witness. The court reporter tells me those are 201 to 250 as they come in and that they've been agreed to by both parties. As they come in, ADA, as you'll identify them for the record.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Trying not to drop them all. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Matthew Sheehan, Sheehan.
And where do you work, sir?
At the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab.
And what is your role there?
I am a forensic scientist 3 in the crime scene response and criminalistics units.
And how long have you been with the crime lab?
Just over 12 years.
And where did you go to school, sir?
The University of New Haven.
And what degree do you have?
I have a Bachelor's of Science degree in forensic science with a concentration in chemistry.
And can you detail your history at the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab?
I was originally hired in September of 2013 as a forensic scientist 1, which is mainly a training position. The following year in 2014, I was promoted to an FS2, which is a full-time case working analyst. For a period of about 6 months in the year of 2022, I was acting crime scene supervisor. And following that, I was promoted to criminalistics supervisor in November of 2024.
And what's the difference between a criminalist and a crime scene, the criminalistics unit and the crime scene response unit?
The crime scene response unit is any work that is done outside of a lab at a particular crime scene, while a criminalist in the criminalistics unit will examine everything inside of a lab in a controlled setting.
And you are familiar with competency testing and proficiency testing, correct?
Yes,
And have you taken both of those types of tests?
I have.
And have you passed those tests?
Yes.
And have you ever testified before giving your opinion concerning evidence collection and forensic analysis of evidence?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many times?
50 to 60 times.
Where did you respond on January 8th of 2023 at approximately 8:52 a.m.?
It was around 8:45 a.m.
8:45 a.m.
It was 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset.
And how many floors are in that home?
There's 3 floors, 2 livable, an attic, as well as a basement.
And what was your role at that home?
Now, I was assigned to the crime scene response unit, so I was dedicated to looking for and testing for biological material.
So let's talk about that. What is biological material? What kinds of things are you looking for?
In this particular case, I was looking for blood.
Are you looking for anything else, any other kinds of material while you're at that home?
It could be physical evidence as well as various types of trace materials if needed.
What is trace material?
Trace materials, it can be considered paint, glass, hairs, and fibers.
So where did you begin your work that day?
I began work in the kitchen area on the first floor.
And just generally, how do you determine what you're looking for?
I will speak with the detectives on scene to get a general guideline of what type of investigation this is. Following that, I will make a general test plan for the scene that I am at before testing.
So what were your observations of the kitchen area?
It was clean overall. When looking through the kitchen, we did find a couple bottles of hydrogen peroxide as well as a knife in a kitchen cabinet above the refrigerator.
Okay. At this point, I would like to place into evidence what's already been marked as Exhibit 201, that being SLD 7597. And I would ask to publish that for the jury.
All right, and what is SLD 7597?
Exhibit 201, that being the area that he's discussing in the kitchen, the hydrogen peroxide.
Just a photo of that?
Yes.
All right.
Is this that area that you're talking about?
Yes, it is.
And I'd next ask to, you also described a knife, correct?
Yes.
I'd next ask to show Exhibit 202, that being SLD 7606, being a knife, Your Honor, previously marked as Exhibit 202, and to publish that for the jury.
You may.
And Mr. Sheehan, do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
And then more specifically, I'd like to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 203, SLD 7610, which is more specifically a knife. May I publish that for the jury, Your Honor?
You may.
Is that the knife you're referring to?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Mr. Sheehan, what kind of testing did you do?
I performed a screening test for blood on the blade of the knife.
And can you describe what the screening test for blood is?
The screening test is a 2-step color test where a small portion of question sample is put onto a test swab. And after that, 2 chemicals are added to this test swab. If there's a bright pink color change, the test is positive. And if there's no color change or to something other than that pink color, the test is negative.
And what were the results?
The screening test for blood was positive on this blade.
And did you perform the screening test anyplace else?
Yes.
And where else did you perform that?
as on the hydrogen peroxide bottles as well as on the kitchen sink area.
And what were the results that you found for the kitchen sink and the hydrogen peroxide bottles?
On all of the bottles, as well as the sink knobs, the sink basin, and the sink drain had all screened negative for blood.
And what can cause positive results besides human blood?
Various types of food materials, such as vegetables, as well as various types of legumes.
Did you test any other areas in the kitchen?
No,
Did you test inside of the dishwasher?
I did not.
Why did you not test inside the dishwasher?
The nature of a dishwasher is to sanitize anything that is inside with extreme temperature, chemicals, and water. I felt that it wasn't necessary to test on the inside due to those conditions.
Besides the areas that you've already discussed, what other areas did you test on the ground floor of 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
There was also a half bathroom that I examined.
And what did you examine in the half bathroom?
There was a washing machine and a dryer, as well as a sink.
Okay. And what were your results?
Screening test for blood was negative on the interior of the dryer and washing machine, as well as on the sink knobs, the sink basin, and drain.
And did you test anything else on that floor?
No.
And then where did you go?
To the second floor bathrooms.
Okay. And did you also go into the bathroom, to the basement area?
I did.
Okay. And did you do testing in the basement area?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I want to move to the basement for a moment. I'd like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 34. May I publish that to the jury?
You may.
Thank you. Can you tell me what this is?
This is the door in the kitchen leading down to the basement.
And then I'd like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 35. May I publish that to the jury?
You may.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is the stairwell leading to the basement.
May I publish Exhibit 36, please?
Yes.
And can you tell me what this is?
So if you were standing at the bottom of the stairs looking back up towards the kitchen, this area would be to the left.
And may I publish Exhibit 37, please?
Yes.
And what is this area?
The same if you were to stand at the bottom of the stairs looking towards the kitchen, this area is to the right.
I'd next like to show what's now being marked as Exhibit 204, Exhibit 7, SLD 7476, which is a blank area in the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you please tell me about this area?
This area was in the back right corner of the basement. If you were to, again, stand at the bottom of the stairs, in this area, there were several stains that I observed for testing.
And do you recognize those white marks on the floor?
Yes, I do.
And why do you recognize those?
That is small pieces of scale tape that I had put down next to the stains that I wanted to test.
And did you label those?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Gilman, can I ask that you focus in on those, please? And can you tell me, Mr. Sheehan, what those are?
These are stains B, C, D, and E. Stain A is upwards and to the right. These are purple stains that I observed for testing.
Thank you. I'd now like to go to the next exhibit, which has been previously marked as Exhibit 205, SLD 7479, which is the ceiling of the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you tell me about this, Mr. Sheehan?
This is the area of ceiling directly above that small area in the basement.
So what type of testing did you do on the areas that were A through G? The testing that you had shown us through the markers?
On stains A through E, I did the screening tests that I talked about earlier, and all of those results on A through E were positive for blood.
And that was the same kind of screening test that you described previously to us?
Yes.
I'd now like to show what's been marked as Exhibit 206, SLD 2482. This is Exhibit A. May this be published?
Yes.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is stain A.
And this is something you previously explained to us.
Yes.
And was this one of the areas that you tested?
Yes.
And was this positive?
Yes, it was.
And was this done, how did you learn that this was positive?
By doing the screening test.
I'd next like to go to Exhibit 207, that being 7487, this being closer up of the purple stains. I'd ask that this be published.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And if I could ask you to zoom in, Ms. Gilman. And can you tell me what you see in B?
Stain B is the purple staining that I observed for testing.
Thank you. Could you go to C, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain C for testing.
Thank you. If you could go to D, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain D.
And could you go to E, Ms. Gilman? And Mr. Sheehan, could you tell me what you see there, please?
And this is stain E.
Thank you. If we could now go to what's been marked as Exhibit 208, 7536. And I'd ask, and this is the stair, I'd ask that this be published for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Can you tell me what this is specifically?
This is the bottom step in the basement. The bottom step was broken.
And specifically, what do you see with your writing on it?
On the right side of the broken piece of stairs, there was an additional purple stain. I labeled it as stain F.
And if you could zoom in on that, Ms. Gilman? And is that what you're referring to, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, I'd ask that you now show Exhibit 38. And Mr. Sheehan, what is Exhibit 38?
This is their stairwell leading to the kitchen with a support beam directly below it.
Below it or behind it?
Behind it.
Okay. And that support beam is significant, isn't that right?
Yes.
And why is that support beam significant?
There was an additional stain, as I labeled it as stain G, that was on the base of the support beam.
Your Honor, I'd next ask that we publish Exhibit 209, which is been previously marked, and it's 7556, and that is stain G.
You may publish it.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is a close-up of stain G.
And so I want to be clear. What type of testing did you do for A through G?
The screening test for the presence of blood.
And what results did you get in A through G?
In A through G, all stains had screened positive for blood.
And how did you identify those stains?
Visually.
And when you say visually, what color were they?
All of these stains were purple in color.
And why were they purple?
The crime scene services section during the scene exam was using a chemical called LCV, and this chemical leaves behind a purple residue and is known to turn potential blood stains to the color of purple.
And when had crime scene services used that chemical?
Earlier in the day during the scene exam.
Was that before you began to go into the basement?
Crime scene services section uses it for their scene examinations.
And how does LCV impact your testing?
At the scene, LCV does not have an impact. However, in the lab, it is known to hinder the confirmatory test for blood.
What does that mean?
The confirmatory test is done as a second test on stains in areas that had screened positive for blood. As a result, we can confirm the presence of blood, and this LCV chemical is known to, even on positive samples, give a negative result.
So how do you compensate for that in the lab?
In the lab, even if a stain has tested negative for blood, a sample would still be prepared for DNA testing.
So what do you do with a stain once it has screened positive for blood?
The stain itself would be transferred onto a set of swabs for collection and transported to the lab for analysis.
And how is that done? What is a swab?
The swabs are very similar to almost like a Q-tip on a wooden stick, and each sample is packaged in its own manila envelope and then stored in its own container.
So leaving, give me a second, you okay?
Yep.
Leaving the basement, can you please describe the second floor of the home?
In the second floor, I examined the two bathrooms, which included a master bathroom from one side of the house and a secondary bathroom to the left.
Okay. And what areas did you test on the second floor?
Both of the sinks as well as the showers. There was also a pair of black and blue cleaning squeegees.
Okay.
This is going to drive me crazy. Luminol makes it luminesce under an alternate light source. It doesn't just turn a color. So I don't think it's luminol. I think it's different.
So did you test the drains and the basins?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how did you do that testing?
The screening test was also the same one that I have been using throughout the day.
And what were your results?
All of these areas had screened negative for blood.
And what time do you think you left the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Approximately 4:45 in the afternoon.
And were you done with all of your testing?
I was not.
So what happened to the house?
At the end of the day, the decision was made to secure the house, and we would return the next day to continue our exams.
And did you return to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes.
And when was that?
The following day on January 9th.
And where did you start on January 9th of 2023?
On the second floor in the front left bedroom.
Okay. And what observations did you make to the front left bedroom?
The bedroom itself was clean overall, aside from a pile of clothing on the floor. I had also noted an area of, it seems like a white residue, and in an area that the varnish on the floor appeared to have been removed.
At this time, I would like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 210, which is 7765, that bedroom that Mr. Sheehan just described, and publish it for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Sheehan, can you describe what you were talking about with the white residue and the varnish, please?
On the area on the floor directly above the MSP placard number 10 and to the bottom right of the pile of clothing is the white residue on the floor.
Is the white residue that you're discussing?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the other area that you were discussing?
It was that same area, the white residue, and that same area appeared the varnish on the floor looked like it had been removed.
And how was the varnish flooring for the rest of the room?
It still had a glossy, shiny coat to it.
Were there any other varnish issues?
Not that I recall.
And did you do any testing in this room?
I did.
And where did you do testing?
Testing was on 2 additional red-brown stains that I had observed on one of the window curtains, as well as on the purple stain noted with MSP placard number 8.
And what kind of testing did you do?
The screening test for blood.
And what were your results?
On these stains, I had labeled them as stains H and I, as well as MSP placard number 8, were all negative.
And H and I were the windows?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go back to the room later?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And why did you go back to that room?
At that time, the decision was made to the crime scene services section was going to remove a portion of the floor. So I removed myself from that area so they could remove the flooring.
And did you direct them to remove the flooring?
No.
And so did you go back after that was done to look at the room?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to show Exhibit 211, which has been previously marked, and that is 7808. And I would ask to publish that with the flooring removed.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this the area you're talking about that was removed by crime scene services?
Yes.
Okay. And did you do further testing?
I did not.
Why not?
There was no visible staining for testing after the crime scene services section had done their exam.
So while crime scene services worked on the floor, what did you do at that time?
I returned to the basement for a second exam.
Why did you return to the basement?
It's not often where I get to re-examine an area that I had already examined, so I wanted to go back to see if I had missed anything.
And what, if anything, were you looking for?
Potential blood stains.
And where did you first go?
At the top of the stairs, looking down, I observed a red-brown stain that I had labeled as stain J on the wall of the stairwell directly into the doorway.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd ask to publish exhibit, which has been previously marked as 212. That would be 7793, that being stain J.
You may.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is the area of stain J.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in just a little bit, please? Thank you. And where is stain J?
Stain J is to the right of the scale. It is not visible in this photo.
Okay. And what did you do with the stain?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what were the results of the screening test?
The screening test was negative.
And then where did you go?
I continued down to the basement.
Okay. And where did you go in the basement?
I returned to an area of black trash bags, as well as that back right section that I had examined the day before.
At this time, I would ask to publish Exhibit 213-7797, the area that Mr. Sheehan just described with the black trash bags.
You may.
Do you recognize this area?
Yes, I do.
And what is this area that you're talking about?
This is an area in the basement that was a little to the left of the area that I examined the day before, towards the back wall.
And I would also ask to publish Exhibit 214-7802, which is a close-up of that area.
You may.
Thank you. What is this area?
This is the stain identified as stain K.
And what testing did you do of stain K?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what was the results of that?
The result was positive.
And what did you then collect?
A sample using a set of swabs was collected from the stain.
Did you collect anything else from the home that day?
That day, no.
Thank you. So what did you do with the swabs that you collected from the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th and 9th of 2023?
I had brought these swabs back along with the knife from above the refrigerator back to the lab to be submitted.
For what?
For DNA analysis.
And what did you do with the swabs at the lab once you got there?
The swabs were submitted into our computer system called LIMS.
And were they given a number?
Yes.
And what's the lab number that they were given?
The lab number for the case was 23-00596.
And is that a unique lab number for this case?
Yes.
And how is the lab number kept?
The lab number is kept identified for each individual case in our computer system.
So aside from the collection of evidence at the house, did you then do further work at the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab on this case?
Yes, I did.
And what procedure do you follow to ensure that you prevent contamination?
In the lab, I work on one item at a time. And in between items of evidence, I will use bleach to clean my work area and any tools that I'm using, and as well as wearing PPE, which would include gloves, a mask, and a lab coat.
How do you keep your actual station clean, and what do you use on your actual station?
Bleach.
And why do you use bleach?
Bleach is known to destroy DNA.
Do you use any kind of paper on your station?
We use a large piece of paper, which we call butcher paper.
Did you do lab work on the items you brought back from 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway alone, or did you do lab work on other items as well?
Other items as well.
So what was the first item that you examined in this case?
Item number 1-1.
And what was item -1-1?
This was a set of swabs from red brown stain A in the basement.
And what testing was done?
I did a confirmatory test to confirm the presence of blood.
And how does that confirmatory test work?
The test itself is very similar to a pregnancy test, where a small amount of sample is put into a test solution, and then that test solution is put onto a test card. After a period of 10 minutes, if there's one line, the test is negative. If there's 2 lines, the test is positive.
And what was the result?
Confirming the presence of blood was negative.
So what was done with this item?
In this particular case, because the LCV chemical was used at the crime scene and the stains were purple, I preserved the sample for DNA testing as item number 1-1.1.
So that was the number that it was given for DNA?
Yes.
Okay. And did you assign any of that sample for DNA testing?
Yes, I did.
And was that the one that you assigned?
Yes, 1-1.1.
Okay. And did you examine item 1-8, the knife from the kitchen?
Yes, I did.
And what testing was done?
I did not do any further testing. I did a collection for potential DNA analysis.
Okay, why didn't you do any testing?
In order for a complete lab exam to be done on an item, there needs to be a visible stain in order to have enough testing for the confirmatory test as well as DNA testing. In this particular case, because there was no visible staining on the blade, the sample needs to be treated as something called quantity limited or QLIM, where the entire sample needs to be used for DNA testing.
So what was done with this item?
A sample was collected from the knife blade as well as from the handle.
And was it preserved for DNA testing?
Yes.
Okay. And why was that preserved?
To answer any type of forensic questions.
I want to ask you about item 5-1, which was swab K from the basement floor.
Correct.
What testing did you do on swab K from the basement floor?
I did a confirmatory test for the presence of blood.
And what was the result of the confirmatory test?
The confirmatory test was positive, confirming the presence of blood.
And I'm sorry, I should have shown you Exhibit 215, Exhibit Image 1205, which is the knife. May I publish that?
Okay.
So this was the knife that you just told us about, that
Yeah.
you was QLIM.
Yes.
Thank you. And now I'd ask to show Exhibit 216, Image 1066, which is the swab K.
You may.
Thank you. This is the swab that you described?
Yes.
Thank you. And then you said that it was positive, and I'd ask next to show Exhibit 217, Image 1067, which is the positive test.
You may.
Thank you. This is that, for lack of a better term, like pregnancy test that you described to us earlier.
Correct.
And this is how you know if the test results are positive. Is that right?
Yes.
When you're saying that this is indicating positive for human blood, why are you saying that it's indicating positive for human blood?
The test itself, while it does confirm the presence of blood, there are other types of animal blood that will give a positive result, which include ferret blood as well as various types of primates.
So why did you not do the screening test for the swab?
The screening test was done at the crime scene, at the house, during the original collection of the sample.
And so what did you do with this sample?
The sample was preserved for DNA testing and given item number 5-1.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
And what was item 7-9?
7-9 was a pair of tin snips. 7-9 was a pair of tin snips.
At this time, I would ask to publish Exhibit 218, image 1081, from the lab, the tin snips.
You may.
And Mr. Sheehan, you recognize these photos, correct?
Yes.
And why do you recognize these photos?
These are the photos that I took in the lab of the items. They have the case number, my initials, the item number, and the date I worked on them.
And what testing did you do?
There was no visible staining on the blades, so I did the screening tests for blood, and the on the blades was positive.
And why didn't you do the confirmatory testing?
There were no visible stains to do further testing.
So it's the same reason that you gave us before?
Yes, as a QLIM sample.
Thank you. And you said that this was positive for blood?
The blades had screened positive.
And what was done with this item?
A sample was preserved from the blades as well as from the handle.
And what was 7-10?
7-10 was a hacksaw.
I would ask to publish Exhibit 219, image 1085.
That's the image of the hacksaw.
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, it's the image of the hacksaw.
You may publish it.
And what test did you do on the hacksaw?
There were 3 areas that identified for potential testing on seemed like a tannish brown debris. The first one was on area A, which was on the blade at the end, on the opposite side from the handle. Area B was on the frame next to the handle, and area C was on the blade where it attaches to the frame adjacent to the handle.
And what testing for all of those areas?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood, followed by the confirmatory test for blood.
And what were the results on those 3 areas?
On all 3 areas, A, B, and C, the tests were positive, confirming the presence of blood.
What did you then do?
Samples were preserved from each individual area, A, B, and C, as well as from the handle.
What numbers were the samples given?
The sample that I had assigned for DNA testing was from stain C, which was 7-10.3.1, as well as a sample from the handle, which was 7-10.4.1.
I'd next like to talk about 7-11, the hammer. I'd like to show you Exhibit 2020 and publish it, that being image 1092. That being the hammer.
You may show that.
Mr. Sheehan, what test did you do on the hammer?
I did the screening test for blood on the hammerhead and face area.
What were the results?
Screening test for blood was positive on the hammer face.
And what did you do?
Samples were preserved from the hammer face as well as from the handle.
And why did you only do the screening test here?
There was no visible staining on the hammerhead.
So am I correct in assuming that when you only do the screening test and not the confirmatory test, it is always going to be for that same reason?
Yes.
Meaning I don't need to keep asking you the same question?
Correct.
7-13, the blades and frame from the hatchet, that being Exhibit 221, image 1099. Could we please publish that for the jury, Your Honor?
Okay.
What observations did you make of this hatchet?
There was no visible staining. However, on the hatchet head, I did note some sort of greasy and oil-like substance.
Why is that significant to you?
In my experience, whenever a cutting instrument is used on an individual, it can leave behind this greasy and oily substance, which is indicative of fatty tissues.
Overall.
What testing did you do?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood on the hatchet head.
What were the results?
Now, the screening test was positive.
And then what did you do?
Sample was preserved from the hatchet head as well as from the handle. The hatchet head was given sample number 7-13.1, and from the handle was 7-13.2.1.
And were any of these assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
Both of those?
Yes.
I'd next like to discuss 7-14, the craftsman shears, and I'd be referring and asked to publish Exhibit 222, that being image 1103.
May.
What testing was done, Mr. Sheehan?
The screening test for blood on the blades and frame of the shears.
And what were the results?
The screening test was positive in this area.
And what was done?
The sample was preserved for potential DNA testing as well as a sample from the handle.
I'd next like to ask you about 7-18, the Tyvek booties. I'd like to refer and publish Exhibit 223, image 1223, and publish for the jury the Tyvek booties.
You may.
Can you tell me what's in this picture?
This is a picture of one of the booties, a part of item number 7-18.
How many booties were there?
There were 4 in total.
Okay. And what else is in this picture?
It appears to be some sort of insulation as well as painter's tape.
And what does this picture show? Is it everything or just an example or something else?
Since this item was submitted as 4 booties, I took an individual picture of how they were packaged separately so that I could keep track of each individual one.
And is that why there's a number 2 at the bottom of that photo?
Yes.
And what did you do to this?
I performed the screening test for blood.
And what were the results?
All of the testing was negative.
Moving on to 7-20, the sample from the plastic painter sheet. How many painter sheets were there?
If I recall correctly, there was 5.
Okay. And was each painter sheet given its own number?
They were originally submitted to the lab all as item number 7-20. And during the fingerprint process, the analyst had removed and given each sheet its own sub number under 720. The one I examined was 7-20.5.
So I'm going to ask to show you and publish Exhibit 224, image 1261, the bag of plastic sheeting, number 5. Ma'am, thank you. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this what you were describing to us?
Yes, it is. This is the packaging for the plastic sheeting.
And then I'd ask to publish and show you Exhibit 225, image 1264, and have you explain the content of the bag?
You may publish that. 1264.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you describe that?
This is one side of the plastic sheeting. In size, it's estimated to be around 8 feet by 11 feet.
And what observations did you make?
There were 2 areas of light red-brown staining that I observed. One that I gave as area A was on the bottom right corner, and area B was on the top left corner.
And what testing did you do?
On area A, I did the screening tests and confirmatory test, as well as from stain B.
And what were your results?
From stain A, it had screened positive. However, the confirming test was negative. On stain B, the confirming test was positive.
Is there a reason that A is negative and B is positive?
It is possible that stain A was not blood, or there was not enough sample on the swabs I had collected for testing to be detected by the test.
So what did you do?
A sample was preserved from the area B, which was 7-20.5.2.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes, it was.
So what were items 9.1 through 9.6?
9.1 through 9.6 were swabs that had been collected from a gray Volvo.
And did you examine those swabs?
Yes.
And what did you do to preserve those swabs?
All of these swabs were treated as a quantity limited sample, so no testing was done. They were all cut up and put into tubes for potential DNA testing.
And were any of those assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
And which one?
Item number 9-4, which was a swab from trunk mat number 1.
And 9-12, I'd like to talk about now, the jacket, the black jacket, and I refer you and ask to publish Exhibit 226, image 1119.
You may.
Thank you. What observations did you make of this?
There were various like tannish brown stains on the exterior of the jacket.
And were there stains?
Not red-brown, they were tannish brown in color.
And did you do any testing?
Yes, I did.
What kind of testing?
I did the screening test for blood on all of these stains, as well as from all the unstained areas of the jacket.
And what were your results?
Screening on all of the stains, as well as the unstained areas, was negative.
I'd now like to move on to item 9-20, the tape with gauze and red-brown stain. And I'd like to refer to and publish Exhibit 227, image 0899. May I publish that, Your Honor?
May.
Thank you. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And can you explain what this image is of?
This is a picture of the, it actually turned out to be some sort of like tissue paper or paper towels, but I had rolled them out for a picture of the overall item.
And did you make any observations?
Yes, I did.
And what were your observations?
There was red-brown staining on a lot of the item, so I identified 2 areas as area A, which is on the center bottom, and area B, which is on the top right.
And what testing did you do?
The screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
On both of these areas, A and B, I had confirmed positive for blood.
And what did you do?
Samples were preserved from both A and B. Sample A was given item number 9-20.1.
And was that assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
I want to move on to 9-22, the white towel, and refer to Exhibit 228, image 1128, and ask you to identify that and ask to publish that to the jury.
You may.
What observations did you make of this towel?
I noted the red-brown stains on the majority of the towel.
And what testing did you do on this towel?
Identified one of the areas of red-brown staining in the center of the towel for testing.
And what kind of testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
This area A in the center had confirmed positive for blood.
And then what did you do?
A sample was preserved from this area A and given item number 9-22.1.1.
And was that assigned for DNA testing?
Yes.
Moving on to 9-23, I'd like to ask you about and also ask to publish Exhibit 229, Image 1132. May I do that, Your Honor?
Yes, and what's it an image of?
It's an image of the towel, the next towel number 2.
Towel number 2. You may publish it.
Thank you. Could you tell me about this towel, what your observations are?
I noted the large area of red-brown staining in the center and identified it as red-brown stain A.
And what testing did you do?
The screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
The sample A had confirmed positive for blood.
And what then did you do after sample A confirmed positive for blood?
Sample was preserved for potential DNA testing.
Moving on to item 9-27, the gray slippers. I would ask at this time to publish Exhibit 230, Image 8398.
8398.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that the light gray polka dot slippers or the dark gray slippers?
The dark gray slippers.
Okay. Dark gray slippers may be published.
What observations did you make?
I noted red-brown stains on both sets of slippers, as well as identifying one as stain A, which was on the top of the left slipper, and stain B, which was on the bottom of the left slipper.
I'd also ask to show Exhibit 231, Image 8399. It's also the same dark gray slippers, just the back of the dark gray slippers.
You may.
Mr. Sheen, can you tell me about this photograph?
This is the bottom of, or the soles of the dark gray slippers.
So what testing did you do?
The areas A and B, A being on the top of the left slipper and area B on the bottom of the left slipper. I did the screening test and confirming test for blood.
And what were your results?
And both of these areas had confirmed positive for blood.
And then what did you do?
A sample was collected from both of these areas, as well as from the unstained areas on the interior of the slippers.
If we could go back to the previous Exhibit 230, please. Can you explain where you're talking about the unstained interior?
On the light blue section, I tried to do a collection from the areas that were not stained.
Meaning not red-brown?
Correct.
And why did you take a sample from the interior unstained area?
This is to collect any potential amount of skin cells in this area to help identify a person who may have been wearing the slippers.
And where exactly are you trying to swab at that point?
In this case, for the slippers, it would be anywhere it would be high contact with the feet. So all the light blue areas on the sole, as well as underneath where the toes would be.
And why were you trying to avoid the red-brown stains?
To at least limit any type of cross-contamination between the stains and for skin cell collection.
So did you give numbers to any of the areas that you collected?
Yes.
And what numbers did you give?
From the interior unstained areas was given item number 9-27.2.1, and from stain A was 9-27.3.1.
And were those two that you just described, those two numbers that you gave us, were those assigned for further DNA testing?
Yes.
I'd like to talk to you now about 9-28, the apparent hairs. And I'd ask to publish Exhibit 232, image 1200. IMG underscore 1200, that being apparent hairs.
You may do so.
What observations did you make?
On this item, there was a section of red-brown staining in the center of the apparent hairs, which I had done the screening and confirming test for blood.
And what were the results?
The red-brown stain identified as stain A was confirmed positive to be blood.
And what did you do as a result of that?
A sample was preserved from this and given item number 9-28.1.1.
And was this assigned for DNA testing?
Yes, it was.
Did you do anything else with this item after the blood testing?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do?
I examined 2 of the hairs for classification.
And how do you classify a hair?
The structure of a hair is very similar to the structure of a number 2 pencil, where the eraser is the root, the outer yellow portion is the cuticle, the wooden portion is the cortex, with the inner graphite section being the medulla. All 4 of these areas under a microscope demonstrate various types of characteristics, and it's these characteristics that are used to classify a hair as a human or animal.
And where do you make those observations?
In the lab using a microscope.
And were you able to classify the hairs here?
Yes, I classified 2 of them.
And how did you classify them?
Again, I pulled randomly 2 of them out of the clump of apparent hairs and to examine in the lab.
And did you classify them as human or animal?
One of them I had classified as being consistent with a human hair, and the second hair was consistent with an animal hair.
I'd ask now to publish Exhibit 233, image 0018, that being a hair number 1.
You may.
Mr. Sheen, can you tell me about this image?
This is the root of the hair that I identified as being consistent with a human hair.
And you said this was the root?
Yes.
And can you tell me why you characterize it as human hair?
Due to the nature and the shape of the root itself, as well as other characteristics from the shaft and the medulla.
I'd ask to publish the next exhibit, 234, image 0022, that being hair number 2.
You may.
Mr. Sheehan, what is this hair?
This is the root area of the second hair that I identified as being consistent with an animal hair.
And can you explain why you believe this was, you were able to characterize this as an animal hair?
Along with the shape of the root and the characteristics of the scales and the medulla on this item, identified as being consistent with an animal hair.
I'd like to now move on to 9-30, the sample from the stain on the wipe from bag 4 and the sponge. And I'd ask to publish Exhibit 235, image 1195.
And generally, what is 1195 of?
The sample from the stain on the wipe from bag 4 and the sponge.
You may publish it.
Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And what observations did you make?
There were red-brown stains on the wipe, as well as there being these yellow-brown debris on the sponge.
What test did you do?
I did the screening test and confirming tests for blood on the wipe portion and the screening test on the yellow-brown debris on the sponge.
And what were the results?
Clothing, the pile of clothing, and placard tin, correct?
Yes.
And then you well, I keep saying that. Did you ask that the flooring be removed?
No.
Okay, someone else did that.
Correct.
But then after that flooring was removed, you went up and examined that area where the flooring had been.
Correct.
Now, there is a reason, isn't there, why someone decided to remove that floor? There's a reason for that, right?
Yes.
And the reason would be because they were looking to see if there was biological evidence that had deposited itself between the spaces between the wood flooring planks, correct?
Yes.
And that is a common thing that you have seen in your examination of flooring, that something like fluid blood or fluid biological, some other substance, flows between the crevices or
What did this guy do to you? Jeez. Dang, he's coming at him hard. What did... Dang, dude. Chill. Just ask your questions. God bless America, dude. Chill.
where the flooring butts up against each other, correct?
Yes.
And when the flooring is then pulled up, now what you're looking for is to see if any of the biological fluid had deposited itself not only in the joints between the flooring planks, but then back on the subfloor where the flooring planks lay, correct?
Yes.
And after a thorough examination, after all of those flooring planks were dug up on that floor, you didn't find any evidence whatsoever of any biological substance that tested positive for blood.
Correct.
And you didn't find any evidence of biological substance that tested for anything else up there after they ripped out that floor, correct?
Correct.
There is nothing in the examination of that bedroom that indicates that any biological substance whatsoever had been deposited on the floor, is it?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, is that the same room that had a hole in the ceiling?
Yes.
And what did you do to test any of that area surrounding that hole in the ceiling in that same bedroom?
I did not test it.
Did you go up into the attic and examine the attic that surrounded that area where that hole was?
No, I did not. From what I recall, that it looked like it was undisturbed.
What do you mean by that?
The insulation area.
The insulation area in the ceiling.
Yes, directly above the hole.
So to you, when you say undisturbed, it looked like maybe someone hadn't even been up in the ceiling because the insulation had been undisturbed, correct?
Correct.
And so if someone had been up in the attic, and based on your experience and training, you would have expected maybe to see that insulation having been disturbed. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And then did anybody point out to you, Mr. Sheehan, that the parts of the ceiling from the hole had been maintained in a drawer in that same bedroom?
Yes, they did.
And did you ever examine those pieces of ceiling?
I recall visualizing them, but they had no staining on them, so I did not go any further with those.
So just focusing now on the hole in the ceiling, you didn't see anything of any forensic significance. Can I put it that way?
Yes.
And when you notice the insulation in or around that hole, you didn't see that it had been disturbed as if somebody had been up in that attic, right?
Correct.
And then you examine the bits and pieces that had been maintained in the drawer of the cabinet, the nightstand, whatever we want to call it, in that room, and you didn't see anything forensically significant about those pieces either, did you?
Correct.
And then as we talk now about the flooring that was pulled up and examined in that same room, you didn't find anything forensically significant about that flooring, did you?
Correct.
You have, and is that the same room that you saw what you thought were red brown stains in or around the curtain areas?
Yes, stains H and I.
Okay, and what did those stains turn out to be?
I'm not sure. They had screened negative for blood.
Okay, so it's fair to say, isn't it, that sometimes you see red-brown stains when you're examining a scene, and since they look and are characterized as red-brown stains, or in your report you use RBS, am I right about that?
Yes.
You see something and you call it RBS, and then you go to test it, and it turns out that it's negative, correct?
Yes, that's fairly common.
Right, and so was there anything else in that bedroom that was forensically significant to you when you examined that bedroom?
No.
Mr. Sheehan, you are aware of the fact that the baseboard, some of the baseboard in that same bedroom was removed, pulled away from the wall, right?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Was baseboard removed in any of the rooms in that home to check to see if there was biological evidence behind the baseboard?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You're not saying it didn't happen. You're just saying, to the best of your knowledge, you didn't do it, correct?
Correct.
So as you sit here today in front of these jurors, it's fair to say that forensic, there is nothing in that bedroom that indicates that anything forensic was found in that bedroom, correct?
Correct.
And you have no idea when you talk about that white residue on the floor that you saw on January 9th, you have no idea what caused it, correct?
No.
And you don't know if that was caused by, let me back up a little bit. Did you describe that on direct examination as if the varnish on the floor had been removed?
Yes, that's what it appeared to be.
And when you did you use the word removed?
Yes.
But it's true, isn't it, that you could characterize the absence of the sheen of the varnish, that it could have just been the result of wear and tear, correct?
Yes.
And in a bedroom like that, where you have a lot of people coming in and out, and it's in the open area of the room, that could just be a result of wear and tear from kids playing, adults walking back and forth over periods of time, correct?
Yes.
Did that bedroom have a closet to it?
From what I recall, it was like it was a closet, but there was no doors on it, if I recall correctly.
And did you examine the interior of the closet?
Yes.
Did you find anything of forensic significance in the interior of the closet?
No.
Did you find anything of forensic significance on the door trim or anything of the sort?
I did not.
When you examined that room, Mr. Sheehan, was there a bed in there?
Yes, there was.
And did you examine the bed?
Visually, yes.
And did you do any testing on any parts of the bed?
No.
Did you notice that on the bed in that bedroom, there was in fact sheets and bedding still intact there, correct?
Yes.
And did you cause to test any of the bedding on that bed in that room?
No, there were no visible stains for testing.
Okay. And it's fair to say, isn't it, when you're examining a scene like this, even though you don't see visible stains, you may, based on your training and experience, think, well, maybe I should just check that to see if there's anything there that I can't see with my eyes, correct?
Correct.
Now, you have tools, don't you? You have chemicals. You have processes that you've been trained on so you can see, and if you can detect the presence of a biological substance that you cannot visually see, correct?
Yes.
And can you just tell the jury a little bit about that?
It's called a general screen. This general screen process could be done on any area of surface as long as it's hard or even in fabric of nature. It's called a general screen because there's no visible staining on it.
Are you familiar with the word occult?
Yes.
Occult blood?
Yes. Means non-visible.
And so it's fair to say that you have been trained and you have experience where you can try to find or detect the presence of occult blood, correct?
Yes.
And in this case, in this home, in this room, you didn't even see any cause or any reason for you to check if there was occult blood or anywhere in this room.
Correct.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about some other rooms in this house on the second floor. Did you examine other rooms in this house that were up on the second floor?
No, only the bathrooms.
And there were 2 bathrooms, correct?
Yes.
And was one, can you just tell the jury where the bathrooms were on the second floor?
On the second floor, there was one directly in front of the stairs as you reach the second floor. And then the second one was in one of the other bedrooms.
Now, I thought I heard you say, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that with regards to both bathrooms, you examined and tested the handle faucets, correct?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Generally to see if there was any type of biological material on a person's hands if they had used the sink to try to wash off.
And in your experience in training and in examining these scenes, you will often find evidence of biological sample, including blood, on the handles of the sinks, correct?
Yes.
And that's true, isn't it? Especially where someone has tried to clean up a scene where something bad has happened, correct?
Correct.
And in this case, in both bathrooms, on the second floor, on the same floor where that room was that had the hole in the ceiling, you found no evidence of any biological or forensically significant biological sample in either one of these bedrooms, correct?
Correct.
It's fair to say, isn't it, that based on your training and experience, when you're not just looking at those handles, you also looked at the drains, didn't you?
Yes.
And why'd you look at the drains?
If you were washing your hands, that's where all of the water would go.
And in fact, what happens is, isn't it, that if someone has a biological substance on their hands and they're trying to hide it or get rid of it, and they wash their hands, that biological substance can flow down the drain, but it also can remain in the seams or where the drain connects to the sink, correct?
Yes.
And that is a source, often based on your experience, where that's where you find examples of biological substances that rest between the seams, I'm going to call them, and that's not a good word, but a seams of where a drain fits into the sink point, right?
Yes.
Because people can try to clean that up. If they want to hide where something happened, they can try to clean that up, but they don't think well, when they try to clean it up, they might not be able to clean up what went in between the seams of the sink drain and the sink, correct?
Yes, I would say that's accurate.
Okay, and that's why you look there, right?
Yes.
Because even though someone might try to clean up, they don't know that that's where the biological substance may rest, correct?
Correct.
And that same thinking, that same process of investigation that you've been trained and you have experience doing it, that was kind of the same thinking you used when you went up and looked at the pulled up floor that someone had pulled up, and you looked at the flooring and the subfloor to see if anything had been deposited there. Someone might not have known could have gotten there, even though they tried to clean the floor, right?
Correct.
And when we talk about the drains and the faucets of those bathrooms upstairs, are you including the drains and the faucets that would be associated with a shower or bathtub that was in those bathrooms?
Yes.
And once again, after all the testing, we found nothing in the bathrooms, correct?
Correct.
It was forensically significant, correct?
Yes.
So now I want to ask you, as you move down from the second floor of this home, and you move down the stairway, Was there in fact a main stairway that came down from that second area you just told these jurors about?
Yes.
And did you examine the stairway that led down?
Yes.
If you know, Mr. Sheehan, were the stairs that traveled from the second floor down to the first floor, where they
That is Channing Tatum. That's Channing Tatum.
wood, hardwood carpet, or anything you saw?
If I recall correctly, they were hardwood.
Okay. And you examined those stairs to see if there was any evidence of blood?
Yes, visually.
And you saw nothing?
Correct.
And you saw nothing on the walls that bordered those stairs?
Correct.
And you saw nothing on the railings that would border the stairs, correct?
Correct.
So now we've moved from the second floor, the bedroom with the hole in the ceiling, the two bathrooms upstairs, all the way down the stairs, and if we think about that now, so far you haven't found anything whatsoever forensically in that home for those areas.
Correct.
Is that a good place to stop for today?
It's the best place, yes.
So jurors, I'll send you on your way for the night. I hope you're bundled for today. It's going to be cold. I think it's getting colder tonight. So make sure you're bundled for the morning. We'll see you back here ready to work at 9. Before I leave, I remind you, jurors, go on any social media or any news media. Don't speak to anyone about this case. Don't do any research about the case. Continue to have open minds as you evaluate the evidence. Have a good night.
All rise to the court, please. Close your notebooks, follow me.
You may be seated. I'll see you at the side of the bench.
Okay. Okay. Channing Tatum has been in lots of movies. He was in Magic Mike. I think I want to say he played Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine. He played Gambit in something. I don't know. I've only seen a couple of his movies, but I know who he is because I have stepdaughters. If an actor is hot, I know who he is because I have stepdaughters. Oh, dang. I was going to play. I can't because I'll get copyright struck. There's a show called Lip Sync Battle where actors go on and then they lip sync to pop songs and stuff. And he actually dressed up like Beyonce and lip sync to He Runs the World. It's pretty funny because he's all dressed up like Beyonce. Okay, guys, I will see you in the morning at 8 for more Bardo, and then at 10 for more. No, not the Masked Singer. Lip sync battle. LL Cool J and Chrissy Teigen host it. John from The Office, whatever his name is, married to Emily Blunt. I can never say his last name. He's one of the executive producers. Him and Steven. I can never remember his name either. He's British. Real tall, lanky, blonde-haired guy. Whatever. I don't know. I only watch YouTube anymore. Except I could run the Tom Holland lip sync battle. Where he does Singing in the Rain and Umbrella by Rihanna. I could just watch that on a loop. That boy can dance. He was a gymnast before he became Spider-Man. But I can see how he got Spider-Man because that boy can do all kinds of things with his body. It's crazy. The only time I think I've watched Masked Singer like on YouTube where people have like compiled, like I've seen all the performances of Pentatonics. I've seen Donnie Wahlberg when he was at Rooster, something Doodle Doo, whatever his name was, when he revealed who he was because he's married to Jenna McCarthy. And, like, he came out to reveal himself, and they couldn't guess who he was, and even his wife couldn't guess who he was. I watched that. But I haven't, like, sat there, because I don't have TV. Well, I do now, but I forget that I have it. I rarely watch it, because I forget. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have DirecTV now. So. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. That's fun. Okay, guys, what time is it? 4:07. Okay, I gotta get up and cook dinner. So, I will see you guys in the morning. Have a great evening. And remember, be kind to people, love your family, and Jesus loves you, and so do I. Bye, guys. I will see you at 8.